America, and welcome to Invent America, because America invents.
This episode of Invent America TV is brought to you by America's Inventor Lady and Home Talk USA. Home Talk is a proud member of the King's Broadcasting Network and has been bringing to you the best of America's home-based product innovation since 1998. This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by the law offices of R.P. Baraska. RPB law offices have been bringing corporate-level legal expertise to the independent inventor community for more than 20 years. For all your inventing legal needs, trust rpblawoffices.com.
Episode of Invent America, because America invents. We love solving all the problems that are out there in our living room and living world by coming up with better ideas. And so today, my guest and my industry expert is Michael Miller. He has been working with inventors for decades, and he knows a lot of what goes on. He's been, working across those imaginary lines that we see. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what happens when you cross the line. But first, I want to let everyone know that this episode is brought to you by Product Quick Start and Noah McNeely. He helps our inventors get from mind to market by doing those prototypes, and sometimes in several generations. So if you've got a product out there and you're looking for someone to help you get it into a tangible idea, all right, let me know, because Noah McNeely is the man. So Michael, thank you so much for being with us today. Tell everybody who you are and why we call you an industry expert.
Thank you very much, Rita. And thank you for having me on the show again today. So industry expert just means someone who's been through the school of hard knocks as far as inventions and bringing inventions and products to the marketplace, and also having, well over 20 years experience of looking at other people's inventions and products and finding ways of getting those to market, both as a industry expert in a number of different industry, pet products, chemicals, plumbing products, bandages and medical devices. So all of those different product category areas, I've brought products to market and went through the entire process of new product discovery through getting the patents, trademarks, all the materials. I mean, you name it, all the way through the process.
So, well, I met you, almost 20 years ago now.
Yes.
And
Yes,
it was over a
absolutely.
product, disposal Genie. My entire family still has a disposal Genie. And, it was wonderful to be able to, get your opinion on other products. But disposal Genie was one of those ones that went through different variations. And, it was sold all over North America.
Absolutely. All over North America, Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, um, Walmart. I mean, your different, and even online on Amazon, all of those different places. And it went through the iterations of a product that was invented by an outside inventor, licensed the product, and then the company and the inventor then worked together to come up with new variations of the products over the years, that those were then added on into the product line. So a very long-lived product that went through all of that.
So, we see a product, the average shelf life of a product is about 7 years, unless someone is really looking at keeping it up to date.
Yes, absolutely, which is one of the things we've talked about many times about licensing with a company that already has product placement and an engineering staff and those types of things. It really helps where the inventor products or partners with that company, and then they start developing new iterations of the product. Take the ideas of the inventor, take the ideas from the company, mesh those things together, get new patents, new trademarks, you name it, new customers, and keep that product line continuing to grow.
So our topic for today is crossing the line. And so we're talking about boundaries and, not behavioral boundaries like, you teach your kids, but actual, boundaries between the countries, all right, and the challenge that an inventor has to face. So the laws are going to be the same, all right, whether you're working with a company like, you and licensing it, or you're going by yourself. But the difference is the level of experience involved. When you license it to a company and they know what everything is, for them it's just a day-to-day business. When you're an independent inventor, you've got to learn everything. What do some of those inventors need to know? Whether they're going from US to Canada or Canada to the US, I would imagine that some of those rules are different and some are the same.
Yeah, there's a few nuances within the laws as far as the license agreements. If you're doing a license agreement or a purchase to sell agreement, those types of things, there are nuances within those agreements that need to be thoughtfully negotiated and move through that process. The other thing that I think is probably the biggest challenge is especially inventors from Canada coming to the US with products that are not familiar with the scale and scope of the American consumer type stores like your Lowe's and your Home Depots. Many of them just do not understand that scale or even the scale of Amazon. And that's really critical. You have to understand how many possible units you would be able to sell per store per week. Many of them start out, especially Canadian inventors, start out with some of the Canada only stores. And, that scale is significantly smaller. And so
Yeah.
they really need to understand that part.
Yeah, I think for, you know, if they license to a company, like, where you were working with the company so long that licensed, place products in Home Depot and Lowe's, when they license then to a company, that company does the heavy lifting for them. How does that work?
Yeah, so they go and so the company that you license it to, they take care of essentially everything from legal, from um, your packaging, what's said on the packaging, the messaging, the negotiations with the various customers, more importantly, the pricing, and also getting the scale pricing from the manufacturers. So many of the companies that you would license to already have manufacturers or they're manufacturing it themselves, and they get a certain amount of scale out of that that really helps to lower the cost per item. And then once you start getting into the retailers, it really helps you to negotiate that pricing that you're going to sell it to those different stores, Lowe's and Home Depots or Aces. Um, and then those stores then go and decide what the pricing is going to be to their customers, which is why a majority of your license agreements are negotiated on the price that you sell to the retailers, not the sales price to customers.
Right. The only thing that can be controlled is that wholesale pricing. You can't control what everybody resells it for in the marketplace. But one of the big differences is that when you're looking at the online sales now, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the segments coming up. That it's kind of freed people some to deal with that. But I know that we've got two guests coming up, Michael, and one is actually manufacturing and selling now, and the other one is looking at licensing, and we're talking to somebody about that as well. One is a kind of a sporting goods product, and the other one is a kitchen gadget. And
Hmm.
kitchen gadgets are one of your specialties. So it gives them the opportunity to kind of see what are some of their options as they're manufacturing and trying to get things into this country, because both of them realize that their bigger marketplace is going to be, the American consumer, and that they do have some challenges when it comes to marketing stuff in Canada and getting the big numbers. And for most inventors, it's all about the numbers, right?
It really is. And also from a manufacturing perspective, there's nothing wrong with having multiple manufacturers. And in some cases, I've done that with products over in Europe, up in Canada, where they've kept a current manufacturer. They've kept that particular arrangements in Canada, kept doing what they were doing, and then we licensed the product for sale here in the US separately.
Okay.
Um, because that really allows, what we consider not really being cross-contaminated with the pricing,
Right.
because it can be significantly different pricing in those different regions of the country, especially whenever you get into like VAT
Yeah.
taxes and all those kind of things, really makes a huge difference.
So stick with us, everybody. We are going to be right back with our two Canadian guests. We call Invent America, but you know what? They're selling in America, so we want to see what those products are. Stick with us. We will be right back.
This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by SearchQuest Patent Search. SearchQuest provides for a comprehensive patent search that searches the entire world and not just the U.S. Patent Office. Make sure that before you spend those big bucks having a patent written, you've done your due diligence by getting a comprehensive patent search. Use SearchQuestPatents.com for all your patent search needs. They scour the world for you.
Thank you so much for sticking with us for this segment of Invent America because you know it, America invents. And Tanya, thanks so much for being with us. You have invented a cool new kitchen towel. Tell our listeners, what is it? All right. And why is it so darn cool? Almost caught me there. Almost caught me there. Why is it so cool?
Thank you, Rita. Well, thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here and tell everyone about Shore Grip Kitchen Towels. So it's a kitchen towel I invented when I was sick of picking it up off the floor. I was super pregnant, and this one particular day, it kept falling on the floor. You know, when you hang it on the appliance handle and you turn around or you bump into it or you wipe your hands and it falls on the floor. That was the problem I needed to solve that particular day. So I had my oven mitt in one hand and I thought, well, this has silicone. Why can't my kitchen towel have silicone? Because then it would stay on the appliance handle. So that's what I went on to do. I developed this kitchen towel that has silicone just in the center. Hopefully you can see that little glossiness right there. So it stays on your appliance handle, but it doubles as a jar opener. And
Oh,
that's my
that is really
product.
cool. That is really cool. So you're actually manufacturing them. So you've got inventory for sale and a website.
I do have inventory, and yes, suregripkitchentowels.com is up and running.
All right. So what have you faced as challenges as far as, you live in Ontario, you're trying to
Yes,
sell in America,
yes.
bigger marketplace, we all understand it. So what are the things that you've learned and what are the challenges you still face?
Well, being new to the product space, prior to this, I worked in education. So I'm really building the plane and flying it at the same time. So I'm learning all the things about marketing, sales. I didn't even know there was a difference between the two. I'm learning it all, Rita. And some of the challenges I'm facing right now are, of course, tariffs. It is a little bit of a damper in the situation, but it's definitely that something that can be navigated through, and I am finding my way through that.
Well, excellent. So we are going to share your information with some of the potential licensees out there. Because do you know what it means to license your product? Okay,
Yes, yes,
excellent. Excellent. So, that makes it so much easier to get things, handled. All right. Because
yes.
a licensee does all the heavy lifting. They make it, they sell it, and they send you a check.
Sounds good to me.
I know, right? That's where so many of, and especially a licensee, if you are infringed on, a licensee will fight the battle.
Right, right. And that's so intimidating. Just the thought of someone infringing, it's just like, where do I get the capital to fight that? So,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. I know that the industry expert that I've had on, he has fought several different battles for products that they have licensed when he was, working for different big companies and gone after then the infringer and had products pulled. And then later gone back to place the products after they were manufacturing. And it's like, here, you want the product? Let us charge you for your inventory. And
That's right.
so, it really makes a difference for the inventor. And a lot of times the inventor can they can stay involved in their product and do some of the fun stuff. I know the one product that Michael and I were talking about, oh my goodness, the Inventor used to go to the trade shows all the time and have such a good time going around and talking about our product that was on display in his booth.
Definitely. I love going to trade shows. It's like my new favorite thing. And any trade show that I can go to, I would definitely, whether I'm licensing or still manufacturing, I would love to go because I just have such a passion for the product and talking to people about it just makes me happy.
Well, I am looking forward to having you with us at ASD Market Week. And part of that is because it's such a great place to be able to talk to the big buyers. All right, they want to see it. And I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He goes, I've never been really good at trade shows. I've been selling the product, but I just, I know I need to get belly to belly. And I'm thinking, eye to eye is probably more where we want to go with that, but that's okay. So he's going to be joining us too, but he's got, an outdoor worky man type of product as opposed to a kitchen gadget. And I am looking forward to being able to demo your product and get it out there and see what we can do with it.
I can't wait to join you and everyone else next March at ASD Market Week. I'm so
It's
excited.
coming so fast. It's like, it's 3 months away. It's like, holy cow, everybody thinks 2026. Okay. But no, it's only 3 months.
That's true.
And we will be there setting up 3 months from today.
Wow.
I know. So how long have you been working on this? How old is the baby that inspired the product?
Yeah, the baby, I've been working on the baby since 2021. I launched a physical product in 2024 because Rita, I don't know if you know this, but I initially wanted to license this product.
I
And
didn't.
I initially wanted to license this product.
I didn't know
So
that. Yeah.
yes, that was where I started. And due to COVID and just a lot of things happening there, I decided to bring it to market myself. But licensing is definitely still a part of, the groundwork that I was doing initially.
Very cool. Well, nobody put pandemic in their 2020 business plan.
It
It would
wasn't in
have
my
helped
bingo card.
yeah, it would have helped if we'd had a heads up, but we didn't. So it impacted everyone out there. All right. So, as your next challenges roll, what is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is just to see the product be successful, however that looks, whether it's me continuing to push the product out there, connecting with strategic distributors and retailers, or securing a licensing deal where they're going to take care of my baby. Whichever way helps that product to get out there is what I want.
Excellent. So stick with us, everybody. And if you know an inventor out there or someone who is getting a product out into the marketplace and they should be showing off at ASD Market Week, have them get in touch now. Our early registration expires December 31st at 11:59 p.m. So you've only got a couple of weeks left. And then, you still might be able to go, but it is going to cost more because it costs everybody more. All right. So don't delay. Sign up today. I love rhymes. So stick with us, everybody. We are going to be right back with the next guest who's also from Canada and has got a very cool product. And we are working on licensing that one with a company that works and does products for the NFL. How cool is that? Stick with us. We'll be right back. If you're an inventor or you know an inventor out there who would just like to be able to have a conversation with other inventors, join the Inventors Roundtable. It's free. The meetings are virtual, so you can be anywhere in America and talk to another inventor. And for a lot of folks out there, understanding the process, being able to ask questions, getting good service provider information is critical to the inventing process. So, got questions? Want to join? It's free. inventorsroundtable.org. And thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America. It is brought to you by Wooden Wood and WeNeedGutters.com. If you have got a spot on your roof that is dropping water down onto your front door or any other part that you don't want to, gutters, you need gutters, WeNeedGutters.com. They are inexpensive, easy. I put my own on, so easy to put on. WeNeedGutters.com. And the gutter guys are also going to ASD Market Week with us. So anyway, we need gutters.com. My guest for this segment is Michael Parrish. We do love our mics, Michael.
Hey Rita, how are you doing? Thank you very much for having me on the program.
Thank you for being with us. And so you've got an interesting take on the traditional baseball cap. Tell our listeners what it is and a little bit about yourself and how you managed to come up with it.
Okay, yeah, it's an apparel device, and it kind of it's on a hat. So we're on radio, so you can't see it, but it allows you to change the embellishment on the crown of your cap. So if you had um, a Dallas Cowboys star on it, you could pop it out and replace it with a different color, a different version of that particular logo. And you can do it in about less than 10 seconds. An 8-year-old can do it. I've built prototypes for my children. So it's very user friendly, and it's kind of it can be a little bit addictive in terms of, oh my God, which particular embellishment of my hat am I going to wear today? So the idea came on a family trip. We were at Disney World with my kids when they were younger. They were about 4 and 8 at the time. No, not quite that young, but they were 6 and 10 probably. And we left the hotel in the morning. I was wearing a baseball hat like I normally do, and it had a little round logo on it. Not Disney related, but we left the hotel and everybody got a sticker. Somebody got a Goofy sticker, somebody got a Mickey Mouse, a Minnie Mouse. Everybody had a sticker, and the sticker was exactly the same diameter of the hat that I was wearing. So I wanted to be in Disney kind of mode, so I put the sticker on my hat. And by the end of the day, I had worn everybody's sticker on my particular hat, and I sat on the monorail thinking, we're in the land of marketing. Nobody markets product better than Disney, but they haven't done this one yet. So I came up with the idea of wouldn't it be great if you could quickly and easily change what you're wearing on the crown of your hat? And when I got back home to Toronto, I researched patents and found out that at least about 8 other companies had already had patent ideas filed and or granted for the same thing, but none of them were in the marketplace, and that gave me pause for like maybe there's something here. Why haven't they gone to market? And what I really found is that the patents that were issued were all either based on Velcro or Ziploc, and they're all kind of clunky. They don't sort of replicate what I like. I'm a hat guy, and I want the hat to look perfect. Um, for people that end up watching on the video, the hat that I'm wearing, when you look at it, you can't tell from the inside and the outside, you can't tell that this is not a traditionally applied emblem on the crown of the hat. So
So for
that's kind of,
people,
yeah, that's the whole idea.
all right, so for our listeners, it's a hat where you can change out the logo, the round, what we know as the embroidered logo that goes onto a hat for a football team.
Correct.
I see it as being, in a high school. All right, where you've got a particular set of colors, but logos, whether you're going to the soccer game, you're going to the baseball game, you're going to the swim meet, where there's a little bit different logo for each one of them, or you're going to an amusement park and you've got, Disney one day and kids can interchange these. They can trade them as trading cards. It's so much fun to see the different things that they can do with them. And, oh yeah, you're going to one football game, but maybe you like the other high school team when you're going there, and you can change out logos between the professional teams, the college teams, the local teams. Oh yeah, and don't forget the amusement parks and anything else. So very versatile in the way it's used. It looks perfect when you pop that in and pop it out. You can't tell when you're just looking at it that it is not a regular stitched on embroidered emblem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was the idea with the challenge with the prototype was to make something that was actually going to be functional and easy, but had that the aesthetic appeal. The idea of sticking emblem on the hat with Velcro and having it be crooked or having it look like the frayed edges kind of, that didn't really appeal to me. Like I wouldn't wear a hat like that myself. But I do like a classic look to a hat, and I want it to look, and needed it to look perfect. So
Well, and the
the
other
yeah, and the device works on the fact of like elastic pieces of plastic that hold their shape. So there's two curved pieces of plastic. When it pops out, you can easily put the elasticized emblem on the hat and then pop it right back in. So if somebody's watching on video, uh, which they're probably not, it goes in and out really quite easily.
Well, and you really don't want to be on a Ferris wheel in an amusement park and have somebody's, emblem fall off into your lap. Doesn't do much good. So, the security that you have on that, and that is what your patent is on, is the way it attaches then to the hat. And it's secure, it looks good, it looks like it was sewn right onto it.
Correct.
And so we're looking forward to trying to help you license it, getting it out there, showing it off. And when I told the guys about it, they said we can't. Our contract says we can't do hats. Okay, well maybe we'll do this one.
Okay.
It's like, okay, we're gonna have to call it something else because this is really cool. And so yeah, they're checking into it and seeing what they can do. And it is just for every parent who's got kids, all right, so they've got different hats and they want to match them with different colors. This works because your hat can be different colors, your emblems can be all over the place, and yes, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, yeah, there are a lot of different applications, whether it be any type of fandom for sure is covered. If you're a fan of the movie Toy Story and they've got 20 different characters, you can have a logo for each one of them, and they work for collectibles, but also for um, for marketing. McDonald's could use it for their employees wearing hats at work, and they promote a different um, product each month. So they don't have to buy the employee a new hat every month. They just have to buy them a new emblem. Other companies marketing, whether it be Converse, the shoe company, and their Chuck Taylor design has got, 20, 30, 40 different iterations of it. And you can make the emblem that to match, the color of the shoes that you're wearing that day.
Very cool. So what has been your challenge getting across the line?
Yeah, one of the big challenges is kind of finding out what genre am I in to begin with. Is this a toy or is it an apparel design? And Spin Master that own Paw Patrol are a particular, they're a well-known company now at this point, and but they're a toy company, and they're like, okay, well, this doesn't quite fit what we do. But we're happy to give you a license to our artwork when you find an apparel company that will do it. And then an apparel company thinks that this isn't, right in their wheelhouse because it's different for them. Or the hat company says that we want to sell a lot of hats, and this is going to make people only have to buy one hat and a bunch of different, patches. So, convincing people that, if the hat that I have on my head is for the Toronto Raptors basketball team, it's going to be emblazoned with like Raptor stuff. So I can't turn my Raptor hat into a Dallas Cowboys football hat, but I can make my Raptor hat look, have 4 or 5 different iterations of it. Um,
All right.
that's
Well,
generally, yeah. I mean, there been a number of issues, and you're helping me tackle kind of, like how to meet people. I'm in Canada. Most of the market is in the U.S., and I can't afford to travel there every week, to put
yeah.
the product in people's hands. So,
Well, we're going to do what we can to help you get it out there. And stick with us, everybody. We will be right back with our industry expert, Michael Miller. He may have some suggestions, Michael. Gotta keep the mic. Hang on, everybody. We'll be right back. And thank you so much for being with us. That segment, we had to go and pay some bills just like everybody else does. So we're here with Michael Miller, our industry expert. And, we just got done talking to two inventors from across the line over there in Ontario, Canada. And, they face different challenges. Tanya is already manufacturing and selling. But, it's like I'll have an inventor here who's got inventory and they want to sell in the EU. So, for some of them, it's just a matter of, posting online. But for, that selling internationally, what are the challenges, Michael?
Oh my gosh, they are numerous and lots of them is really the problem. Uh, and the also the very changing nature of trade between nations, and it's constantly changing, which is why, as you and I have talked about, it's so important to license your product rather than trying to bring it to market yourself, especially if you're going across borders. Um, I mean, these rules and regulations for both packaging, for tariffs, all of those change. Lately, it's been on almost a weekly basis. And you don't have this group of people in a room that their job is to monitor all that. And if you're trying to do all that yourself, you're going to be behind all the time.
It really is. So many inventors, they have their wow moment. They come up with an idea, just like Tanya did, and just like Michael did, all right, down in Disney World, and it's making him crazy. So the whole idea then is that, if you come up with the wow, rarely are they experts in doing prototyping, rarely are they experts in manufacturing, and almost never are they an expert in actual marketing and selling. And so then this product that can really make a difference gets lost in the shuffle, and that's unfortunate.
It really does. And probably, I would say one of the really horrible aspects about this is that you as an inventor can get in trouble really quickly if you just make a few minor mistakes on your packaging and don't have the right wording, don't have the packaging made out of the right materials, and all of a sudden you can get that into a retailer and have to recall every single bit of it, and it can bankrupt you very, very quickly. It's horrible for regular companies going through it, but you as an individual inventor with just one or two products, that could just be really devastating.
It certainly can be. I know that we have had inventors that, when you're selling online, I always laugh and say, well, all right, so you're selling on Amazon, you could put it in a Ziploc bag and ship it out. But when you have that opportunity now to get onto a store shelf and sell it, everybody says, well, this would be perfect for Walmart. Well, Walmart, no offense, Walmart, but they're a consignment shop. They don't buy or make anything, they just sell the product, and the inventor doesn't get paid until the product is sold. But if the barcode is in the wrong spot, if the packaging is a little bit off, they could sell 50,000 units and send you an invoice. And so
Yep, absolutely.
you got to be
And
so
if
careful.
your barcode if your barcode is wrong, you could be fined. I mean, it really is. That's why I really try to help guide people towards the product licensing side of things for bringing their products to market.
So when someone licenses it, all right, how does that make a difference in their life? I mean, do they still get, are they just giving it away to you? What does that mean?
So what it means is that the company is basically taking over all aspects of manufacturing, marketing, sales, all of those, and then you as the inventor, you're monetizing your product by getting royalties for every single unit sold. And that's really the key is to negotiate that percentage amount so that you get a fair percentage for every unit that's sold. And you're really not involved in the day to day or even the month to month regarding that product. That company is responsible for that. And you make sure you put proper safeguards within an agreement that they do move forward with it and they do make sales, and then you're getting a percentage. You get that percentage check every single month for all those units that are sold.
So with all of your years of experience, what advice would you give anybody listening who is looking either to sell in Canada or is in Canada looking to sell in the US?
So I would say for inventors that are looking to sell into Canada, I would definitely go with the US first just because of the size of the market. And you would not want to basically sell into Canada first because of the pricing of the products while they're in the Canadian market can really throw off your pricing to get those products properly priced in the US. It's different if you go from Canada to the US. That's actually a little bit easier to do because of the way that that pricing works, that retail pricing that people will be able to look up online. You're able to really keep your margins at a much better and safer level if you're going from Canada to the US.
Okay, so an inventor who licenses their product, they can still participate in product development. They can still participate actually in some of the fun stuff of the marketing if they want to. They could actually even buy product back from the licensee and still be a reseller themselves, correct?
They absolutely can. And those would all be things that, depending upon what you want, that you would get into a license agreement so that you would have kind of flexibility.
I know I've seen inventors do all kinds of things as they've gone through that. So that would be a good topic for another show. And I want to thank all of my guests for being with us today. And if you know somebody out there who is an inventor and has questions, have them get in touch, have them be on the radio. You know what? It's free. So join us in another week and we will have another show for you to listen to. In the meantime, have a wonderful holiday, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
And so, that's really what we look at is, and the other point that you made about, shaking hands with the guys that would be doing the reselling of your product still makes all the difference in the world. And that's why we go to ASD and so many of the inventors go with just their proof of concept prototypes, because they want the guys who would be selling their product to give them some feedback on, do they even want to try to sell this product?
Absolutely. Inventors always want to fall in love with everything about their product and they forget about the benefits. And that's really what speaks to who the customer is that's going to be buying it.
I want to thank my boy. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Cody. And
thanks everyone for joining us today. We will be back next week with more stories on getting products from mind to market. We will have new inventors and industry experts. So join us and have a wonderful week.